broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host and technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. I'm excited to be here today with our co-host, Mike Gorday. He is an award-winning author and a human behavior expert. Now we're live streaming during our show on 4 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You can always catch us on Tuesdays at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Daylight Time with our radio broadcast, and always catch some of our encore shows that we broadcast throughout the week after that. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/TechTimeRadio. We are friends from different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today on Tech Time Radio, we're diving into some intriguing topics that are making waves in the tech world, from a fake banking app that's scamming unsuspected users to CEOs like Otter AI's Sam Lang embracing AI avatars for office tasks. There's plenty to discuss. We also touch on a judge's ruling regarding Google's advertising practices. It said that they are unfair. Does that surprise you? Google's advertising practices are unfair.
No, let's take them and break them up.
Okay, well, we're doing that too.
Like we're doing to Meta.
So we're doing it to every. The only company getting unscathed from this is Microsoft, it seems. And guess what? We're unveiling our own Tech Time Radio created holiday. That's right. Today, we are going to, Amazon creates all these holiday sales to sell
we
stuff.
all know how much you hate that.
I hate them. So now we are doing one that's called Amazon Prime Squared Obtuse. This is our own holiday. So you get an Amazon Prime, and then you get squared and obtuse. So I kept on going on with math. I actually had
that should have been done last week when we had That Sucks Day.
That Sucks Day?
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be wild because we have so many stories that are going on in the news with Amazon right now that as we were going through our show prep, we had to actually just create this whole segment and this whole fake holiday to go through what's going on in Amazon's world.
Okay.
In addition, of course, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, the technology fail of the week, and a Nathan nugget. It's going to be more of a rant, but it's a Nathan rant. And of course, our pick of the day whiskey tasting to see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. Now, I was going back and looking at my whiskey picks. Per year, I only average 3 thumbs down. So I'm going to be a little bit more judgmental. That's what I average. I don't.
Is this like a New Year's resolution that you forgot to do on New Year's?
Well, because it's our holiday, Amazon Prime Squared Obtuse holiday, I decided to do a bunch of holiday research. So I have now gone back and taken a look at my whiskey because it's every Amazon Prime.
So you're going to just change your palate, just like blip.
It's going to be, that's right.
Okay.
Because it's a special holiday, so it's going to be very critical today.
All right. Well, let's.
But it's got a cork top, so I'm going to be already.
Yeah. Let's watch that in action, shall we?
Okay. All right. Well, now everybody, it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right. Welcome to the new era of leadership by an algorithm, where you trust a dedicated AI in the cloud. In an article that was just published a few days back in Bloomberg, titled "Meetings Won't Be the Same When the Boss Sends an AI Bot," there's a whole bunch of research that is being done on what C-level and high-level managers are doing so they don't have to attend meetings. Let's go to Lisa Walker more on the story.
Otter.ai is training an AI-powered avatar on what the founder Liang has said in thousands of meetings and written in documents since he co-founded the company nearly a decade ago. Complete with a voice synthesized to sound like him, it is built to handle about 90% of the issues that arise in most business meetings. Liang said, "It has my knowledge, so it knows how I think. It can infer how I would respond to a new question based on all the past interactions. When the avatar gets stumped with, say, a hiring decision, it can ping me in real time for a reply. The bot can be tailored to adopt the mannerisms of the bosses they mirror, like how often they pause while speaking, or how frequently they interrupt others. Back to you guys in the studio."
Are you serious?
No, I'm not only serious, but this is a leader in AI, and he has a whole bunch of people that he has this AI bot going to meetings for now.
Oh yeah, I get that. We talk about how everybody wants AI to replace all these jobs, and these dudes in power like, let's just let it run our meetings for us.
So not only does it do this, so it has voice cloning, it's got an avatar. They actually have an animated avatar that will smile. It'll be like a picture of the CEO.
I've seen this. I've seen this in the gaming world too.
So this is exactly it. So instead of going to meetings, he sends his AI bot. The owner now, of course, he's an owner of an AI company, so he's going to be Otter AI, which is a transcript tool that we use for TechTime Radio on our meeting notes, and you get little notes when you're at the meetings.
Yeah, I've used Otter AI.
Okay, so it creates a real-time transcript, and then it summarizes as it's capturing what's going on, and it will make decisions. The bot actually says that's a great idea, or that's not a good idea, or let me get back to you on that.
I really want this to backfire.
Do you really want this?
Yeah, because this is one of the laziest effing things I've ever heard of.
This is just crazy. If you don't have enough time to meet with your staff, and you want to
even all the damn meetings that you have to go through on a regular basis is ridiculous
so
in the
cancel
first
those meetings.
place. But,
okay, if you have to send an AI bot,
but yeah, having an AI bot stand in that's one of the if he's going to let it make decisions for him, maybe he doesn't need to be there at all.
You know, I worked at a company in Seattle that was owned by the co-founder of Microsoft, Paul Allen. He's passed away since this time, but I worked for him, and there was a lot of times where I had a large group that was reporting to me, over 100 plus people, including contractors in different areas. And so if I couldn't attend a meeting, you know what would happen? I would still have those meetings, and then I would send an administrative assistant in to take meeting notes, and then they could ask me what was going on. But they still had the dialogue between the people themselves, knowing that I'm not there. And I felt guilty when I did that. I would feel guilty of not attending the meeting.
Clearly, this guy doesn't feel guilty about it.
So now you're saying an AI bot.
I think this is completely lazy. This is just.
What benefit do you get from this? I don't know why you would do this at all.
I don't know, but he says it thinks for him. It understands how he thinks.
If he needs to make a decision,
it can basically run the company for him. So
why does he have to be there?
He doesn't need to be there. So fire his butt.
Yeah.
Keep the AI. You immediately get to save a lot of money because you don't pay the AI.
So are we going to go to that now, where companies now have an AI
I don't know.
engine that's running the whole company?
If I went into a meeting and my boss was a cloned AI, I would walk out of that place.
I think in this, none of my meetings that I have would have that, but I don't know. That's the most unpersonal or what?
Or I would do everything I could to make that AI say things that were just utterly ridiculous.
Or give you a raise, or do this, or do that. Yeah. Just keep on asking.
Let's see how much we can manipulate the large language model to get it to do stuff.
You know, if you have to have a bot go to your meetings, then those meetings shouldn't be probably scheduled. And if you can't send an assistant or somebody else to take notes for you on meetings, then don't have those meetings. But as soon as we start having AI bots going to meetings, then you know what? We might as well just move to Terminator 2 Day, because it should just be here right up the. I mean, that's where we're at. If you're going to have your company's highest ranking officer,
they're going to turn it into Ed 209, who's going to walk in and like mow down everybody.
Yep. All right. Well, I hope story number 2 can get us out of the AI rut. What do we have here for story number 2, Mike?
Well, hey, we're going to go back to the real genius of scamming people.
Okay.
without the use of AI. We're going to talk about real people scamming real people.
Oh, wow. That sounds exciting.
That's exciting.
That's good. The real people and scamming real people.
So people are being scammed by a fake banking app that makes you lose faith in humanity.
Oh, no.
The app mimics legitimate mobile banking platforms and allows fraudsters to fake bank transfers in person, show the seller a successful payment message, and then walk away, leaving sellers thousands of dollars out of pocket.
Okay.
Dr. Tim Day, lead in doorstep crime and scams for Chartered Trading Standards Institute, described the apps as an emerging threat. He added the in-person nature of the scam is unusual. So apparently what happens is if you're selling something, like you sell,
Facebook Marketplace.
You sell stuff, right?
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, different places. But I do in person some stuff.
All right, so
couple of pinballs for sale.
Yeah, you advertise something online. Hey, come buy my, what did you say it was?
Pinball. I got 2 pinball machines.
Come buy my pinball machine.
Yep.
So these guys show up with their mobile phone in hand. They take some information from you.
Yep.
And then they show it to you, and the app mimics your banking app, and it basically says that you've been paid.
Okay.
And then he gets to walk away with your
items.
Okay. And you never get money.
Oh no. Really?
Yep. On the screen it has an advert. So for the example
it
here and there.
So realistic.
Yep.
I downloaded this on my Android phone.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this person that is in this article was selling more than $1,000 worth of power tools on a social media platform when he received a message from a profile named Liam Wright.
Okay.
When Mr. Wright said he was interested in viewing him, Mr. Rudd invited him to come to his workshop. After he arrived, he checked over the tools, offered a bank transfer, and opened what appeared to be the banking app. He handed his phone over to him, and he typed in his account details.
And it collects that that in a text file in the app itself.
Yep.
So when you type that in there, it actually collects that.
It collects your banking app or banking details. He said it looked absolutely genuine. While Mr. Rudd was waiting for the money to appear at his bank account, he turned his back to pick up accessories to hand over as part of the sale. The scammer used this opportunity to leave with all the tools, but the money never arrived in his account.
Wow. So let me tell you about this app, because I actually downloaded it on Android.
I kind of feel like you would have done something.
So I did play with this. So when you when you go on in to simulate what you're doing, it's got like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase Bank. It's got all the bank names. And so you ask the user. So if I'm buying with fake money from you, Mr. Gourdet, and I come in and I say, hey, I want to buy that great Star Wars action figure that you have, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to give you, I don't have a PayPal account. I don't have Venmo. So I'm going to have to pay you through my bank account. What's your bank? And what's the first thing you're going to say? Well, I probably use like Chase Bank or some. What's the bank that you use? Just give me an example.
BECU.
Okay, BECU. It actually comes on up too. So, okay, great. BECU. Can you please, and then I hand you over my phone. Can you please put in your bank account information in here, because I want to send you an instant transfer from my bank so you can make sure you get paid. It has the BECU login. It's got the BECU information. Mm-hmm. Everything that you are familiar with BECU is in the app itself. You type in your account information. Then I go back and I grab the phone and say, okay, how much do we need to put in there? Or I can even have you do there. Can you put in how much is in there? Because my bank account's already connected to it. And it says successfully transferred, ID number, money wire to be taken care of.
This is classic conning. This is just classic conning right here.
So when I loaded this app, I thought maybe this would be the only app. There was 3 other competitors. And some of these wanted me to charge all the way up to $10, $9.95 to download this app that guarantees it updates within 24 hours of any new screenshots that would come from the bank. So the other ones are a little bit dated, but it literally looks, it is so amazing. It looks so legit that I am sure most people would fall for this. And this article has got like 4 people that all fell for it.
Yeah, well, the point of this is that there's actually people that are going to these folks' house or business. They are showing their face to this person and talking them through this. So this is a pre-internet scam almost.
Okay.
Because that's how con artists work in the
Back
past,
in the
right?
day. Yep.
So yeah, this is good. So I mean, the good thing is that if they ever catch this guy, at least he'll be able to be identified.
But what happens when you go to the police department and tell them that you were just scammed? What does the police department say to you?
I don't know. I'm not a cop.
Okay, so the police department and most.
Did you call the cops?
No, but most of the time, I had a person break into my car in downtown Seattle.
Yeah,
a while ago, and you know what?
I got broken into when I first moved here.
Okay, the police will give you a record. They'll give you an ID of information, and they'll say, if we find anything, we will contact you.
That's true.
And so nothing really happens.
That's true, except. They caught my guy.
They caught your guy?
It was actually not a guy. It was actually a woman.
Okay.
Who broke into my place looking for drugs, stole all of the computers and all this other stuff. And they identified one of the computers that was
Did
stolen.
she try to hawk it at some type of...
Oh, yeah. They found her in her car. Her car was full of stolen items, and they were trying to pawn them. And it was a
So do we go to Vigilante? I mean, the only thing I can think of is like Marvel superhero stuff.
I mean, another frustrating thing about that is if you are scammed online through like a banking thing, they tell you to make a police report to have record of it. And then the police send you to like an FBI website.
They used to. But now they no longer have staffing for the FBI. So it's a technology deal.
So there's really...
So now what you do is you get... So I had somebody that just got scammed some money, and then you used to go and fill out an FBI report, which you still do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you go to contact them, and it says that we don't have enough service individuals. If this is an emergency, please contact us.
Yep.
Or if it's over $1 million that has been lost, then please contact us. Yeah. So if you're a small person now you're just kind of out there going,
yep,
okay,
you're SOL, buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is taking advantage of people face to face, because you want to trust people.
Yeah,
our nature is to want to trust people. Our nature is to want to collaborate and
work. You figure if someone is coming to your place that they're going to be somewhat legit, right?
That's how these cons work. Is the con artist or the person that is doing the scam engenders himself to you based on human nature. So we
personality.
want that connection. We want that trust. So they engender that. They build rapport, and then they allow you to do. And if someone came to your house and said, "Here, okay, we can do it on my phone," you would be more likely to say yes to that than if they did an online transaction.
That's correct.
Hey, I'll just send you a link, so yeah, you gotta be really on your ball when you're dealing with this stuff. And it's always interesting to me about how going back to old ways works better now than it did in the old days.
All right. Okay. So
that's all I have to say about that.
So the app is on the store, and it's been reported, and guess what? Nobody's doing anything really about it. So it's just going to sit there on the app store for people to download, and then hopefully banks then change their front end transfer information so it doesn't look the same. But
well, I'm guessing this is what you're going to ask me later, so we can say.
Yeah, I do have a question out there. All right, story number 3: Google has illegal advertising monopoly. Judge rules. The U.S. judge has determined that Google, the tech giant, holds a monopoly on online advertising. The U.S. Department of Justice, together with 17 states, filed a lawsuit against Google, claiming it illegally dominates the technology that dictates the placement of online ads. Now, the U.S. District Judge Berkema? Is that Berkema?
No, that's a Brinkema.
Brinkema. Okay, all right, whatever. Declared that Google had willfully engaged, thank you, a series of anti-competitive acts, allowing it to acquire and maintain monopoly power in the market. This marks the second antitrust case Google has lost within a year, following a rule that established this monopoly in online search. So Google's in charge of search. They're getting broken up for search. Now they're getting broken up for their advertising, because they're kind of the leader of advertising that places you in the search algorithm that they own. So now Google's going to have like 27, AT&T breakup of, what is it? Was it Bell? Was it Bell Institutes? Who is the
Bell,
big phone?
the Bell telephone system.
Bell telephone systems.
That was man. That's like
That was a long time
that's
ago.
way back in this.
Well, I'm just saying.
Is it
that-
the 80s?
But it was like
70s
one
or the
telephone
80s?
company. That was a No, I think it was 70s even. A telephone company that was running it. So Google's legal team contends that the case is overly centered on its past actions while overlooking other major advertising technology providers like Amazon. We're so excited to be celebrating our Amazon Prime Squared Obtuse holiday. So we don't want to be picking on Amazon at all until at least next segment.
Okay.
All right. That
Let's
wraps
do
up
that.
our technology stories of the week. Next, we're going to dive into our special segment that we have. We'll see you after this commercial break.
Okay, so your palette.
Looking for custom glass solutions for your next commercial project? Hartung Glass Industries is your trusted partner in custom glass fabrication. For over 100 years, Hartung has delivered proven manufacturing expertise, comprehensive product offerings, and dependable service and quality. From energy-efficient facades to custom shower doors, we create glass solutions tailored to your project needs. With 8 facilities across the U.S. and Canada, we combine national expertise with a local touch-ensuring faster service and unparalleled customer care. Hartung Glass Industries, where quality meets innovation. Visit hartungglass.com to learn more.
All right. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And, of course, with a little whiskey on the side. Today, Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur, is in studio. What have you chosen today?
Today we are drinking Elijah Craig Toasted Rye. So from Elijah Craig's website, in this expression, we imbue our award-winning straight rye whiskey with even more flavor. Once fully matured, we finish toasted rye in a second custom toasted new oak barrel, adding a balanced layer of sweet oak and complexity. Now, this is from Heaven Hill, which is one of your favorite companies.
This is so good. How can I be critical? This is
I don't
so
know.
good.
Let's talk about that critical palette you got going on.
This is fantastic.
Well,
Okay.
critical just means you're very particular. You can still love things on a critical
Oh,
palate.
this is like butter. This is so.
So what he just said is that you have to say thumbs down anyway.
Okay. no.
This is from Elijah Craig's Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. It's a straight rye. It's non-age stated. It's 94 proof. It's barely a rye, so it's 51% rye, 35% corn, 14% malted barley. It is $55.
Man, this is so good.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Do you like it, Mike? I don't want to give it a thumbs up or
I
thumbs
do.
down.
It's sweet. It's definitely. You said how much on the corn? I can definitely
35% corn.
So that's where that sweetness comes
Absolutely.
Yeah. Look at you, connoisseur. All right. Then is this from your personal collection?
I have. This is my bottle.
Oh, you purchased this.
I purchased it.
Okay. All
It's
right.
not very expensive.
No, it's not.
$55 MSRP.
And look-
Actually,
Yeah, and
Look,
got
I
the
got it
word
on
pop.
sale.
See,
You
it's
said
got
I got it for
everything.
$50.
Yeah, for $50.
It's got
Yeah.
everything that Nathan
Likes.
gives a thumbs up on.
I know it's under $50. It's got a cork top.
Oh, not just a cork. Look, nice wood. And
Oh,
It's a wooden cork top.
oh,
popping sound.
the pop.
It gives you that nice cork squeak.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
All right. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe to the show. It means a lot to us. Drink responsibly, especially on this liquor. Heaven can wait.
There you go. All right. With our whiskey tasting completed today, we're doing our own holiday. This is Amazon holiday knockoff. We're calling it Amazon Prime Square Obtuse. Let's start this segment now.
Welcome to the Tech Time fictional holiday, Amazon Prime Squared Obtuse. What do these crazy guys have in store today?
All right. So that's what we got.
So why no plus in it?
Oh, well, because you know
Yeah,
what?
where's the plus?
Well,
buddy?
hang on. Amazon has not just one holiday, but they have many holidays throughout the year. So let me just tell you, the voice and that music is not going to be the first time you hear it this year. There will probably be 2 or 3 other fake,
Okay, you know,
fictitious holidays that we now create for Tech Time holidays. This is the Amazon related one.
You don't have any idea of how to build suspense, do you?
Why is that? Well, just wait till. Well, you know what? We could have like a Google day. We could have an Alphabet day.
Let's do
we
that.
could have the Muppets. The Muppets come on out and say
I think
the
Mark's
count
point
counting.
here. Mark's point. We've talked about this before. You should add plus to the end of everything.
Oh, you should have plus. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
And you should be even better than them and be plus.
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 All right. Okay.
All right, so
we're gonna
what's
start
the
out.
first
I got story number 1. I got story number 2, and then you know what, Mike, I'm going to give you the last 2 stories. You can do
Because
the
you
last
can't
2.
pronounce the word.
No. All right. Story number 1. These are all related to Amazon. So in our pre-show, we were doing what we wanted to talk about today, and there was so much that's going on in the Amazon world that's why we created this fake holiday. We have a live action Pacific Rim TV series in development at Amazon. According to Variety News, for the project was first shared in 2024, but now they've reported gotten the Arrival screenwriter, Eric Hasier, was attached to develop and write the show. The new series will apparently be a prequel to the original Pacific Rim, a movie about fighting giant mechs and the humans that pilot them. What do you think about this?
What I think about this is that
Yeah.
every time Amazon purchases something that I like, they turn it into meat paste. So,
What?
Yeah.
Come on, Rings of Power is pretty good.
No.
What?
No.
Oh, I think, Mark, would you disagree with me here? Do you like Rings of Power?
I like Rings of Power.
Okay. All right. So see, okay, there you go. I think
They have taken the narrative out of Tolkien's arcs,
yeah.
and that's what they do. That's why I don't like Rings of Power.
Okay.
They've done a lot of it with other things, like the Wheel of Time series is a complete.
Oh, that's horrible.
Is a complete.
That's horrible. We tried watching it, and it's nothing like the books.
No, it is kind of.
No, the main character,
the main characters are the same. The stories are related, but they've changed everything around so that it just sucks.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, now
And
you
so
have.
I'm
So
not.
Mike, are you taking on the critical role now?
I always bitch about this stuff. But you like Pacific Rim. I'm not a huge Pacific Rim fan, but I can't wait to see how they screw this up.
There you go. Okay. All right.
Can't wait.
Well, you know what? Speaking of movies, we're going right on to the next idea. Let's get more of these in the road. Robo taxis.
Yes.
Right? So we have Waymo, we got everybody out there, but now we have Zoox, Zoox. The autonomous driving technology company owned by Amazon is preparing to begin testing its vehicles, of all places, Los Angeles this summer. What a place to put them in. Why did you just pick the worst place with traffic, throw them on the freeways, and we'll see how well they do.
Well, that's actually probably a good place to put them because they're not going to move more than 5 feet.
So there you go. So you're gonna
hour.
founded in 2014 and acquired by Amazon in 2020. Zoox is one of the several efforts to bring self-driving technology into the mainstream. Now, Tesla chief executive Elon Musk isn't happy about this, as he's been touting the potential of autonomous driving vehicles for you. And Waymo, owned
nobody cares what
by
Elon
Google
thinks.
parent company Alphabet, is already operating driverless taxis in multiple cities, including Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Phoenix. Now, Zoox testing in Los Angeles will lay the groundwork for future commercial services. The company spokesman said the company plans to welcome its first public riders in Las Vegas and San Francisco by the end of the year.
Yeah, get on board, boys. This is the wave of the future.
And it's going to be robo
It's
taxis.
going to be a little rough at first, but this is the way it's gonna
I
go.
only want Johnny Cab.
You only want Johnny Cab?
That's what I want. I want Johnny Cab.
Johnny Cab from what was that? Total Recall?
Total Recall.
Yeah, okay,
Yes, that's all. But I think this is one of these things that really is not good for our future because you have all these companies competing in this one market. It's like with virtual reality, you know,
where Apple
And
kind of
so-
came late, and
so you
really it's now
can't-
Meta that owns it still.
Yeah, so one doesn't work like the other, and I don't know.
Microsoft stopped doing it. Okay, well. All right, well, breaking news. You know, we got a big flash going across the top of the internet reader bar right now for our holiday buy now. This is a Lightning Plus sale. So I decided to put the Lightning Plus sale. You got our next article, story number 3.
You're not going to talk about how they grabbed Highlander rights and they're going to make meat paste out of
you're going
that
to talk
too?
about that. Yeah, that's your story. You got that one. You talk about that.
No, I'm supposed to talk about Project.
Okay, all right. Amazon has landed the Highlander rights, and Henry Cavill is the star. As they say in the Highlander franchise, There can only be one.
There can only no. There could be only one. Not that there can only be one.
There can be only one. So okay. And in the case of the latest Reimagine's new home studio, Amazon's MGM Studios and United Artists have combined. Sources tell Deadline that Amazon's MGM Studios have secured the rights to remake a new vision of Highlander.
A new meat paste version.
Are you excited about that?
No.
Amazon, let me just tell you this. They're buying up every intellectual property they can.
Yeah,
other than Disney and Marvel that has that stuff.
At some point,
they're going to own the market.
I expect that they're going to get judged.
You're going to be monopoly?
They're going to be declared a monopoly, and they're going to have to go in front of
probably. But we got all right. You got story number 4, and then we still have another one coming on up for our Amazon holiday.
Yeah, well, Amazon again is taking us one step closer to the reality of
what's that?
What's that movie that I love? It's a Disney movie.
Disney movie, Tron,
with the robot.
Tron,
Wally,
Little Mermaid.
Oh, Wally. Okay,
yes,
Wally.
we're one more. We're one step closer to the reality of Wally.
Oh,
Amazon's inaugural launch of Project. How do you pronounce it?
Is it Kuiper? Kuiper.
Project Kuiper internet satellites. Kuiper 1, the launch of ULA Atlas V551 rocket carrying the first production satellites for Amazon's Project Kuiper is now planned for April 28th. I think that's
just like Mel Kiper's draft board thing.
I think that this is interesting that they call it Project Kuiper because Kuiper is this big, huge asteroid belt that exists outside of our
solar system,
little planetary system here.
Okay.
It's not. It's between us and Jupiter, I think.
Oh,
but it's this big asteroid belt.
Okay.
With Project Kuiper, one of Amazon's goals is to take on SpaceX's Starlink internet service, which started in 2019 and now provides broadband connectivity to individuals and businesses via a growing constellation of small satellites.
Yeah, man, that's getting tough. How are you going to get through space soon? Soon you're going to have to
That's what I'm
shoot a
saying.
shuttle up there.
We're one step closer.
There'll be this intersection between the satellites. You can then proceed on. Otherwise, you're going to hit all these.
But it's interesting that Amazon is going in LA against Musk, and now they're going into space against Musk. So it's like a big Bezos Musk.
It's a huge billionaire pissing contest. That's what it is. Okay,
I'll have to agree with you, Mike.
For subsequent. Amazon's April 28 mission will deploy 27 Project Kuiper satellites to orbit, the maximum number of Kuiper satellites that ULA's Atlas V rocket can carry in a single deployment.
Okay.
For subsequent missions, Amazon will also use ULA's newer Vulcan rocket, which can carry as many as 45 Kuiper satellites in one flight, as well as the New Glenn, a new lift-heavy rocket operated by Blue Origin.
Did you hear about the Blue Origin stuff with Bezos opening up the hatch and it was already pre-opened? Did you see any of that stuff?
No, I didn't see.
Oh, it was pretty funny.
I call it A1 sauce.
No, they did not call it A1 sauce though.
Amazon is planning to build a constellation of around 3,200 Project Kuiper satellites by 2029. This will be enough to offer global broadband coverage, giving it a chance to compete with SpaceX Starlink service and completely clutter up the heavens that we enjoy.
Yep. You'll be thinking those are stars and those will be satellites. They'll be all moving all over everywhere. Just think if you look in the constellations, it'll be like, oh, that's my satellite for internet. Oh, that's my satellite for TV. Oh, that's my satellite for... All right. Well, that ends our TechTime Radio made up Amazon holiday. What'd you guys think about that? Wasn't that exciting? Amazon Prime squared obtuse. That will probably not be the last time we have this holiday.
That's really exciting.
Okay.
I'm really excited.
All right, let's move on now to Mike's mesmerizing moment.
Welcome to Mike's mesmerizing moment. What does Mike have to say today?
All right, Mike, what steps can people take to avoid the scam that you talked about today in the first segment? Let's just kind of talk about this. How do we avoid these scams?
Well, first off is you don't trust the tech.
Okay, don't trust technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't trust the tech. Don't trust the person that's using the tech.
Okay.
And it's not to be mean to that other person.
Okay.
But, back in the day, if I were selling a car and I had somebody that came along and was like, hey, can I write you a check for the car? No.
Go get the
cash in hand, right?
Okay.
So don't be pressured into accepting a bank transfer over an electronic device. that's obviously the very
Basic level.
that you should be.
Okay.
Don't hand over the goods until now. If they Venmo you, if they use Cash Apps, you can see this independently on your phone.
Yeah, within about a minute.
Right. So doing that this way is also recommendable, right? So if you are going to accept electronic transfers, only use those apps. Don't allow them to use some third-party app you've never heard of or direct transfer. If they tell you they can't use a Cash App, too bad.
What are you going to say there, Odie?
PayPal goods and services as well.
Yep, PayPal
in case
goods and services.
is a scam, you can get it back.
Yep.
Okay, so there you go.
So
Third,
use
check your own bank account.
Use PayPal. Will
From
Ferrell's
your own
advertising
phone.
it all over everywhere on TV right now. They're giving away $1 million.
That means they're in trouble.
Okay. All right. What else? Anything else?
You can check to see if the buyer really has a brand new social media account.
Okay.
That's always a suspicious thing.
I selling pinball machines and somebody never has an account. They all of a sudden said that they wanted to pay me $10,000 if I'd box them up and ship it to them. Never had an account. Yeah. So they were going to pay me like almost double what the value of these things are, which had been the first deal. I'm like, okay, but I have to box them up, take pictures, and then send them to him, and he'll give me a delivery driver that he knows personally that will pick him up and drive him down to Oregon.
Yeah. Well, I think the key to this particular scam though is the actual face-to-face stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to say just don't trust it.
It is, especially when you're talking to the person.
But
you're
if
building
you're
rapport.
selling stuff,
Yeah.
if you need to have sort of like that attitude. You need to have that distrust of the person.
Don't
until
trust.
you
Verify, then trust. When
That's
you're
right.
selling something.
That's it, exactly.
Not trust and verify.
Trust but verify, right?
Okay.
Or verify then trust,
Verify,
or
then
whatever.
trust.
But the point is that don't allow somebody to use their technology to do the transfer. If they can't access Venmo or Cash App, that's a scam. Okay. That's one of the primary things that if you hear that I can't use Venmo, well, you can't have the tools.
There you go. That makes sense. All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for that mesmerizing moment. We have up next This Week in Technology, so now will be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as we will be doing so during the break. See you in a few minutes.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm the English guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English language.
Okay, so it's
all the time.
It's Patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, you can subscribe to Patreon.com and help us out.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook, too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
TechTime Radio.
At TechTime Radio.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's TechTime Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at TechTime Radio.
That's at TechTime Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's TechTime Radio.
It's at TechTime Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, on our way back machine, we're going to April 26, 1999, before Y2K. First known flash BIOS virus. The first known virus to target the flash BIOS. The BIOS is the aspect of when your computer boots up with a hard drive, what's inside of it, your processors, your memory. The BIOS is the most important aspect of any computer, any tool, including your phone, cell phone. So this is the most important part of any electronic computer device. Now, this first known virus to target the flash BIOS of a PC was called the CIH Chernobyl virus. It triggered payload on the day, erasing hard drives and disabling PCs primarily in Asia and Europe. One of the most destructive viruses in history, it estimated that 60 billion PCs were affected worldwide, causing 1 billion in damage, and that was 95% of the PCs in Asia and Europe at the time. The virus had been created exactly 1 year earlier on April 26, 1998 by a Taiwanese student, Chen Ing-ha, and set to trigger its destructive payload exactly 1 year later. It began to spread in the wild and was first discovered in June of 1998, given the name CIH due to the author's initials discovered in the virus code itself. From this time forward, it's been reported that a variety of companies accidentally distributed the virus through their own downloads, updates, and CDs. So what happened is this became such a low basic code that when people were sharing files and they were creating new stuff, they were actually downloading it. These were distributed by all the American Online CDs. You remember getting those American Online CDs in the mail?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
I
if
used to throw them across the yard or hang them up like decorations.
I mean, you would get one every month, right? You would get at least one every month, if not
I made a
almost every week.
I made a fountain out of one.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so what happened is they were known this actual virus was in the American Online software update that people were loading. Fantastic.
You've got mail.
That's oh, you got something else. Well, the virus triggered on this date. It just happened to coincide with the date of the Chernobyl disaster in 1986, and therefore press began calling it the Chernobyl virus, even though there has never been any evidence to show that it was chosen for this initial reason. That was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 240 plus weekly broadcasts spanning our 40 plus years, you can check out our videos, podcasts, blog information, and of course, our Whiskey Pick historical records. You can always visit all this information at techtimeradio.com and watch our older shows. We're going to take a commercial break, but when we return, we have our Mark Mumbles Whiskey Review. See you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for, Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
That makes me smile every time I hear that music.
I love it.
All right. What do we got going on today here?
Well, today, April 22nd, we are celebrating School Bus Driver Appreciation Day.
Okay. School bus
Is
driver.
Lunch Lady Appreciation Day in there too?
Was what?
Lunch Lady.
Lunch lady. Oh, okay. I remember
That's a different day.
That's a different day.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So tell us about this.
So School Bus Driver Day originated in California and was created to draw special public attention to school bus drivers in California for their enduring and exceptional contribution to students. It's a well-deserved tribute to all the men and women who devote their lives to ensuring that children go to school every day while remaining patient, helpful, and upbeat throughout the day.
Okay. Did you ever ride the bus to school? I did not.
I did.
Okay.
For a
Did you,
little
Odie, did you ride the bus to school?
Oh yeah.
Did you, Mike?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. What was your experience like?
It depended on which bus driver I had. I had cool bus drivers, and then I had, Hitler bus drivers.
Okay. All right. Okay.
They were just scream at you all
They
day.
scream, wow. Okay.
Sit down! Stop looking!
Okay.
Be quiet!
All right. Okay.
I will throw you out of on the road.
Wow. Maybe.
Run you over 3 times.
Well, or did you not behave in the bus?
I behaved.
No, the wheels on the bus go round and round, right?
When were you on a school bus?
That was a long time ago.
That was a
Odie.
long time ago.
Whoa. Okay, but I was on it from elementary through middle school, but through high school, I walked.
I was in it through high school until I got a car.
Okay. So from elementary through high school, or
Yeah.
Okay.
I rode buses from very young.
Okay.
Mark,
Not
when
you.
did you ride yours?
I did. Mine was public bus,
Okay.
and that was second
Oh,
and third
wait.
grade.
Oh, actually, I did ride public bus in my
He
junior
just
high.
No, we're
said
school.
bus.
talking-
He didn't say school bus.
Oh, that's true.
But I thought the
It's school bus day, though.
yeah.
School bus
So
day,
he's
Mark.
he's
That doesn't
blending.
count. That's
He's blending all the bus
that doesn't
drivers.
count, Mark.
All right, continue on about this day. We're excited.
All right. Well, the school bus drivers, like my grandfather, who did it after he retired from my uncle's school,
Okay.
here's a toast.
There you
Toasted rye.
If I had any left, I would be toasting.
I'm
There you go.
done. I finished my glass.
Me too.
This toasted rye process begins with the fully matured Elijah Craig straight rye whiskey, which is then dumped and re-entered at barrel proof into a second custom toasted new oak barrel designed in partnership with the Independent Stave Company. The toast on these secondary barrels is unique to Elijah Craig Toasted Rye. At the end of nearly an hour-long toasting process, a cap is placed on the barrel to quickly ramp up the heat to an extremely high temperature,
All right.
allowing the phenols to embed in the surface of the barrel for an added element of smoke to complement the spice and sweetness of the rye. Unlike many other finished whiskeys, this whiskey retains its status as a Kentucky straight rye whiskey because the second finished barrel is both new and charred.
Oh, okay.
Now, in September 2020, Elijah Craig released their toasted barrel finished bourbon, which you have on your shelf back there.
I do.
I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know Nathan is.
I am. And this is really good. That's on the very top shelf.
Now, that one did make a good cocktail. Now, since then, everybody has been waiting for them to release a toasted rye, and here it is finally.
This is good.
And it is both delicious,
Yeah.
neat,
Yeah.
and in a cocktail.
Yeah.
It's not a high-end or overly complex rye. However, for the price, it's something to at least try once.
And second time, and the third time, and the fourth time. Yeah,
All
this
right.
is we're both through
I
our
can
thing.
see how critical that palate's going.
That's all right. Well, Mark, you know
Yes.
what? I strive when I retire to actually be a school bus driver for our local schools also.
Excellent.
But I'm going to probably be the Hitler type that you're talking about. I'll be like, don't talk to anybody. You sit down, put your hands by each other so that people would feel safe.
I don't think I would drive a bus
so.
in this day and age.
Really?
No.
I think that'd be a great way to give back to the community.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you would
unless
be,
you drive it off a bridge.
Wow.
I don't think you'd be draconian. You're going to want to swap and trade
Oh, I may be
cards
trading.
with them
I may be
and
trading
toys.
Oh
and-
yeah, that's right. Maybe I bring in a new transformer.
with
and
all
I-
the behavior problems that are going on in schools right now.
I probably really
I
relate
would-
to those
I would.
kids. What are you talking about? That'd be like, hey, they're my jam.
Yeah, you probably walk on the bus with a shotgun full of salt.
Wow. Okay. All right. What were you gonna say, Odie?
I liked my school bus drivers growing up.
Good.
They all had their own little thing.
All
I
right.
don't think I had any Hitler ones.
I had some cool bus drivers, but I often remember the ones that screamed and yelled all
My
the
parents
time.
would drop me off to school in
But
high
then
school until I could drive.
Things were a lot different back then when I was young.
Right, you
the
old-timer.
teachers were
They had
often
rulers.
just
They'd slap on the
nasty,
desk and
evil-
they'd sometimes hit your hands.
Yeah, they would. I had a
Yeah.
teacher that would throw erasers at your head if you weren't paying attention. She would scream at you in the middle of the class. In fact, she ruled with such fear that people were afraid to ask her to go to the bathroom, so they would just pee in their pants.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. Is this what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that wasn't me. I didn't do that. I just watched people do it.
Okay.
All right.
I
Okay.
barfed in her lap though. That's a whole
wow.
story.
Okay. All right. Whiskey and technology are such a great pairing, just like potatoes being served with steak.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You know,
Steak and potatoes.
Steak and potatoes.
yeah,
Have you ever gone to a steak restaurant where they didn't have potatoes as a side? No, I cannot think of any place that didn't have a. Now they may have a substitute for pasta, but the main plate is normally steak and it's normally a potato item. You got one, Odie?
Why are you explaining that to everybody that knows this?
culturally, I would say beans and rice.
I was gonna throw. I love rice
Yeah.
with steak.
Okay.
My wife thinks I'm crazy.
Okay.
Well, Mark, you kind of are.
She's not wrong.
Okay. There you go. All
But
right.
yeah, those two are delicious. Too.
Okay, well, we got lots to talk about, so let's prepare for our technology fail of the week, brought to you by Elite Executive Services, technology experts to help you out of a technology fail.
Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh, I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, this week's technology failure comes to us from the Seattle Department of Transportation and having their crosswalks hacked. Seattle crosswalk buttons were hacked all across the nation to sound
all
like
across Seattle.
No, across the nation because they happened in San Francisco.
Oh, really?
And yes, it has San Francisco and it happened in Texas and other locations.
Okay. I
So
thought
there's a
this was
Zuckerberg
local.
version, there's an Elon Musk version,
Oh.
and our own Pacific Northwest version is Jeff Bezos. Now, we were lucky enough to capture some of this audio. So, Odie, can you play that audio for us?
Hi, I'm Jeff Bezos. This crosswalk is sponsored by Amazon Prime with an important message. Please don't tax the rich. Otherwise, all the other billionaires will move to Florida too. Wouldn't it be terrible if all the rich people left Seattle or got Luigi'd and then normal people could afford to live here again? Jeffrey Bezos.
All right, so we have that.
You know what they're forgetting?
What's that?
A code word.
A code word?
A code word.
What's that?
To know that it's not actually them.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's from last week's episode. They should have said, "I'm Jeff Bezos. My code word is
donkey." And
donkey.
Oh, that's right.
That's good. Okay.
Did you like the got Luigi part?
So do you know what that means? That's the dude that killed the CEO of the pharmaceutical.
Is that how they're using it? Oh, okay. Because it used to mean just downgraded to Nerf land.
Oh, okay.
Where you had to play the basic game because you couldn't do it on normal.
Yeah, now the crosswalk is sponsored by Amazon Prime, it says, with an important message. Don't tax the rich. Otherwise, the other billionaires will move to Florida. Or, wouldn't it be terrible if the rich people left Seattle and they got Luigi'd and the normal people could afford to live here again? The audio recording at crosswalks play a critical role for people who are blind and have limited vision, helping them cross the street safely. The Seattle Department of Transportation said in an email statement, "We are concerned that someone would disregard the safety of people to make a political statement in heart of South Lake Union neighborhood, where Amazon headquarters campus is located." Now, Bezos left Seattle for South Florida in 2023, raising questions at the time whether Washington State's capital gains tax was partly to blame. The Luigi reference is to the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City in December. The audio also includes a snippet of the viral Bezos song by musician Bo Burnham. Have you guys seen that? Burnham. Have you watched that whole video? Oh my gosh, hilarious. Okay, never mind. All right, crosswalk buttons, Silicon Valley were hacked also, including audio voices that sounded like Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Tesla CEO Elon Musk. And it's normal to feel uncomfortable or even violated as we forcefully insert AI into every facet of your consciousness experience, was the Zuckerberg sounding button. I just want to ensure you don't have to worry because there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And then, you know what? Why not take a look at Elon Musk? It says, "I guess they say money can't buy happiness. I guess that's true. God knows I've tried. But if you can buy a Cybertruck, that's pretty sick, right?" said the Musk button. And then it goes on to swear, saying, "F, I'm so alone." So there you go. Now, it's unknown who's behind the stunt. Actually, it's not unknown. There's people that have claimed this stunt on the dark web. So it's absolutely known which group did this.
I did it.
No, you didn't. But all right. The hacker group infiltrated the technology that controls the devices, which usually emits sound, audio commands, or an AI voice that says walk. You know what I now know is that I don't have to have that animatronic voice of walk. If you spend enough time in the transportation systems, you can come up with a very cool sounding audio to play when I'm crossing the road. So you know what? I think that we need to come up with some cool audios. I mean, everybody's into corporate sponsorship, so we should say, hey, this crosswalk is sponsored by XYZ. Come join us at the Seattle Mariners game, blah, 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 as you're walking across.
Let's not do that. Let's just keep it like basic and let people live.
All right. Well, there is a whole group that is being encouraged, such as hacktivism, to say right now things are not going very well. You can take a look at a YouTube video. Just search for Walk Sign Hacktivision, and you'll find the group that is taking responsibility for this social media hack. Wow. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have our Nathan Nugget, or our Nathan Rant, really, and then our pick of the day. So we'll see you after this commercial break.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon the Bookpository, and more.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, so I want to go back to one of our lead stories here. When an employee, partner, or an investor interacts with a leader, they are participating in a complex social agreement rooted in vulnerability and shared objectives.
Well, you didn't write that sentence.
Yeah, no, he totally didn't. Why?
No, what the heck?
Was that A1 that wrote that for you?
No, it was no A1. They observe micro-expressions, emotional states, and adjusted bases on subtle signals that AI can completely understand.
You're giving people too much credit here, man.
What's that? So let's talk about this.
Where did you get that?
What's that? I
This whole thing about micro expressions.
I was going into this. I did a lot of research in this. So
Okay, so micro expressions.
yeah, it's like that's we talk about lie to me. We've talked about
Yes,
this many
we've
times.
talked about, but micro expressions happen so fast that most people don't even see them. So people don't really observe micro expressions. They can get an idea that
Good
something
leaders do.
happened.
I think good leaders do.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, we haven't had a good
Well,
leader.
Mike,
then.
do you mean they don't observe it in general, or they don't observe it consciously, but unconsciously it's taken in?
It's consciously. They don't observe. They might have seen it and they might get something in their head that says, oh, something's wrong here, but they don't actually observe them.
All right. Well, so let's talk about this. When individuals follow a leader, they normally lead by emotion and hope, confidence, security, and inspiration.
That's why I follow you.
Oh, thank you. All right. No algorithm.
Mark, you're showing your.
That's right. Can evoke these genuine emotions, right? They can only mimic them. So if I'm going into a meeting and there's an AI boss there that is expressing how I'm doing and is talking with me, I have no interest. I will become a curmudgeon. I will be Mr. Gourdet, and I will get up and walk out if I have to interact with an AI boss, because I would expect some empathy. I would expect some engagement. I would expect to have the ability to have a conversation and be able to read the room on what's going on in the room itself.
Yeah. So we've been this whole day has been sort of a rant, but I'm completely on your side there.
You're on my side?
Okay. I'm a little disappointed.
Why is that?
I wouldn't mind using this for my team.
your current team?
Because then I could just be at home in the backyard and jacuzzi having a drink.
And you can just be like, okay, Mark.
Can't you? Okay, just thinking about that. Doesn't that sound like the greatest insult to the people you work with?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, honestly, like, hey, I created an AI bot for you to interact with, so you don't have to talk to me personally.
Because I am so much better than you.
I am so awesome.
I am so much better than you. All you peons. I have no interest to talk to you.
This happened to this YouTube guy that not too long ago was big into this AI stuff, and he created these AI bots that did exactly this. They cloned his voice. He had an avatar that looked kind of like him, and it just blew him out of the water. It just destroyed his YouTube career.
But there's no algorithm that can do genuine emotions.
So at the end of this,
no, there isn't. I will, if Odie's looking at me sad about something, and I'm talking, oh, she just flipped me off. And so she does something like that in a nice, joking way. We understand that we're connecting and we're relating. If I'm an AI bot, and all of a sudden I see it flipped
right now,
up.
those are called macro expressions.
Yeah, I see those. But all of a sudden, if I'm an AI bot, I'd be like, "Hi, Odie, how are you doing? Oh, I see that you moved a finger. Are you okay? Do we need to talk?" I mean,
that's my thumbs up.
That's your thumbs up. Okay, all righty.
But you know what triggers me?
What's that?
Zoom meetings already exist.
Yeah.
They can't even be bothered to just be present via wherever they are.
Yeah, and you can turn the video off, so you got your picture. You got your picture, so I could be doing two other things.
You just have to respond.
Do you know how many meetings I do
That is
sometimes
exactly
with that?
why I'm so upset about this, is because it is one of the most laziest effing things I've ever
it's
heard.
more lazy than what's currently
and it's
available.
insulting. It is more insulting than saying, "Hey, we got this AI bot. He's going to do your job now. You're fired."
Would you ever trust an AI bot?
I know.
Okay.
It's the common expression. This could have all been an email.
That's right. You know what? Now, excuse me, everybody.
At the end of this nugget, you're going to let us know how to get one of these?
Well, hang on. Excuse me. I need to ask my Alexa to play my 70s country music to calm me down. Alexa, play me calming 70s country music. There you go. All right. And now
you are no longer my leader and hero.
What's that? You don't like 70s country music?
No, sir.
What? Oh, okay. All right. Let's now move to our pick.
Let's get an AI bot to change your mind.
Let's move to our pick of the day, whiskey tasting.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
We are drinking Elijah Craig Toasted Rye from Heaven Hill, 94 proof, $55 MSRP, and easy to find.
Thumbs up, man. All the way. Thumbs up. I know I was trying to be more critical.
That was a big surprise to anybody.
No, this is so
Maybe you should have
good.
your AI bot talk about
This
how
is so good.
That sounded
valid
very
is critical.
60s psychedelic answer,
like
not
that.
70s country.
Okay. Well, you know what? I have a bachelor party I have to go to this evening, and we just may have to scope one of these bottles here. This would make it all much easier.
Okay.
All right. What do you think, Mike?
I give it a thumbs up. I like the taste. It's got a really good finish. It's It's a little bit too much on the side of sweet.
Okay.
But it's just enough to still warrant that thumbs up.
And Mark, what do you think?
I enjoy this one. It's not top shelf, but it's a great one to have on your shelf. You can put it, like it says, inexpensive enough you can throw it in a cocktail for somebody. Somebody like you coming over, I'd serve you this versus something else high up. But I still enjoy drinking it.
Oh, thank you. You see
it's
that?
still delicious.
I'll send Nathan the
there you
cheap
go.
stuff. All right. Well, all of you guys, well, it's an honor to be your host on today's show. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word.